Some pretty major stuff has happened recently.
Something's not right. Oh, I can't even move my leg. Oh, I can't shift. Oh my God. Ow! Ow! I'm just trying to limp it out of here. I appreciate it. Go ahead. Pull me up! All right, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
I really had no idea what was wrong with my leg. Everything just felt annihilated in my knee, and I was in quite a bit of pain. So after a long 30-minute drive to the hospital, I finally got admitted. And with everything going on right now, I wasn't allowed any visitors, and Alexis couldn't even stay in the hospital with me. So for the next few hours, I was on my own to figure everything out. And let me tell you about the pain that I felt when moving this thing. I had to get from the wheelchair onto the hospital bed, and the swinging of my leg made me scream. Like, it made me yell out in pain just whenever my leg was manipulated. It was more the side to side. I was pretty good at keeping it at the same vertical level, but the side to side, the swinging from the chair into the bed, I would almost scream every time. It hurt really bad. All right, guys, we made it to the hospital. Got my stupid face mask on and just checking my heart rate and blood pressure, but got a super cool nurse. Hopefully I'm not in here for too long, man. I hate being in hospitals. It might as well feel like a jail. Especially with no visitors, it definitely feels like a jail. But yeah, my knee is clapped. I was able to get my pants off by myself, and I still have the Liat knee braces on. So there's a very large bulge there. I was able to get my pants off by myself, so save those. They didn't have to be cut. These things, different story. I'll probably have to make them into shorts. That's okay. We're getting it figured out. Waiting on the doctor now, and we'll see what happens. Now granted, I've had a lot of injuries in the past. I mean, I almost cut off my leg with the chainsaw back in 2012. I severed more than 75% of my Achilles tendon, laid my whole leg wide open with the chainsaw, and that doesn't compare in the slightest to that pain that I felt in my knee. So when getting x-rays, when getting to the CT scan, they had to pull me onto a different table to get the CT scan, and I would just let out these screams, man, because I just couldn't keep it in. After the fact, I'd be completely fine. Like, I can deal with the throbbing pain, the aches, but just like the jarring pain that I felt, I couldn't understand it. So another hour passed, and I finally got some kind of answer as to what was going on.
Well, you guys, I just got the good news, and I have a tibial plateau fracture.
Now, hearing the word fracture was almost insulting. Like I said, I've broken bones in the past, done all different kinds of lacerations to myself, and just hearing the word fracture almost pissed me off. And with being an x-ray, they had no idea what was going on with my muscle and ligaments, so I was still worried about that, and in the back of my mind, I thought something had to be seriously wrong with something else besides that fracture. So when I went to get my CT scan, they pulled me over into the different bed, I was screaming, whatever. I laid down, got the scan, and I asked one of the doctors, I was like, why am I in so much pain? Like, this is just a fracture. He said, dude, this is one of the most painful ways to break your knee. So hearing that just gave me a little bit of comfort. I was like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. But even then, I was just kind of in awe of what I was feeling.
I was yelling quite a bit, but since this isn't considered a trauma-related surgery, they can't do it today, and they wouldn't be able to do it until Wednesday. So it is Saturday today, and we're all the way in South Carolina, so that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna wait around, sleep in the Tesla until Wednesday. So we're gonna put a knee immobilizer on, and we're gonna head our way back to the great state of Ohio. It's gonna be a long, bumpy drive. Not looking forward to straightening this leg or being drugged up.
Shout out to that last nurse. She really helped out and kind of gave me a peace of mind. But they dumped me out front at 8 o'clock p.m. in the dark, Thankfully, they at least gave me some crutches and a little bit of pain meds that I didn't even want to take. The only reason that I took the pain pill is because they had to straighten my leg out to put it in the knee brace, but they couldn't even wait 5 minutes for it to kick in, so it was pretty much pointless, and I was upset about that. So now I'm just nauseous, feeling like crap, and I knew that I just wanted to get home. So shout out to Alexis for holding it down. Thanks Tyler and Amber for helping her get everything ready. And I sat in the passenger seat of the Tesla and we prepared to make the 8-hour journey back home. I was in a pretty dark place at the time, just pretty much seeing my whole life come to a stop and the next 6 months of just recovery and everything that I'd been through in the past, and I just knew what was coming and I was kind of dreading the whole experience, not to mention the lovely 8-hour drive back home in the dark. Every single bump, I mean paint strips on the road, like every little thing just jarred my leg, and I managed to help keep Alexis awake, and I don't think I fell asleep until the last hour, but we made it. We pulled in around 5 in the morning back home, and I crushed my way to the bed, painfully swung myself in, and got some sleep. Now the following few days were pretty stressful. This was Labor Day weekend, so everything was closed on Monday, and we were trying to find an orthopedic surgeon to get into ASAP, just dealing with insurance and making sure I was approved for this, that, and the other, and just all the phone calls that had to be made. So once again, huge shout out to Alexis and my mom for getting everything figured out. But a couple more miserable days passed, and I finally got confirmation to see an orthopedic surgeon, so I was alleviated a little bit. Now the current state of my leg was pretty rough. It was huge, super swollen, uncomfortable as all hell. I couldn't move my leg at all. So I'm a pretty tall guy, my leg weighs a lot, and it's just like having a completely dead limb that you just have to work around, and it's a pain in the ass. I tried to crutch outside a couple times a day to get some fresh air, but for the most part I was just sitting around just waiting to see the surgeon. What's up everyone? Today we are headed to see the orthopedic surgeon. It's been a rough couple days. Today's Wednesday. This whole incident happened on Saturday, so I've just been having to live with the pain and make do, which has kind of been torture, just waiting to hear the results of what happened. I mean, I know I have the tibial plateau fracture, but as far as the muscle and the ligaments, that's to be determined. I pretty much, I don't want to say got it down, but I know how to manage the pain and what ways not to move it. Like side to side is not happening, but like I can move it up and down a little bit. Whew. But we're headed towards Columbus, got about a 30-minute drive, and hopefully we will hear some results. I don't really care what the results are at this point. I just want to get the surgery, move on towards recovery. Finally got to see the surgeon. The first hospital sent home a disc that had all the CT scan images on it. He got a chance to look at those. He came back to the room, and that is when everything made sense, and I got a little bit of a sigh of relief. Well, you guys, we just got done at the doctor's, and we have some good news, I guess you could say. I will be getting surgery Friday. The fracture was pretty gnarly. I'll go ahead and put some pictures up on the screen right now. And that is not supposed to look like that. So for the past 3 or 4 days, I have been living with this huge piece of bone floating around in my leg. The highlighted section in red is another chunk of my bone that had got pushed down into my tibia, so they were gonna have to extract that and put that bigger piece back, obviously. But he kind of walked through the game plan for the surgery, and I was scheduled for surgery that Friday. But as you can see, there's literally a huge chunk of my tibia that is broken off. Like, I thought I had a hairline fracture. The x-rays you couldn't really tell, but this CAT scan, man, it makes all of my pain make sense. Your boy's gonna have some metal in his leg. I won't need a cast, which is pretty awesome. I'll have to sleep in like a stabilizer, but during the day I can have it out and, you know, be able to bathe, shower, and stay clean, and that's a good feeling in itself, just staying clean. Literally the day after, he wants me to start doing different exercises and keeping it moving, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. How to battle through the pain, you know, another day and a half till we get surgery, but you know, it's looking pretty good. So it'll be stabilized, and it should feel a little bit better after that initial surgery pain wears off. I should be feeling pretty good.
one surgery too, thankfully.
Yeah, hopefully only one surgery is going to be required. And we really haven't figured out yet about the muscle, but he didn't seem to be worried about it or say anything about it. So recovery is looking pretty bright. I mean, it's going to be a long time before I get, you know, I'm back to 100%, like 6 to 8 months. But just being able to walk and stuff, like being able to live my life and still be able to do things. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to ride for a while, but...
You don't want me to take care of you forever?
I don't think you want to.
Very accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never, ever, ever get a break. I would come home from work and literally...
Yeah, so it looks
People do
like
it, though.
I might have to find a different caretaker for the future. So that was a good day for me. Finally got some good news on when everything was going to get fixed. And it was a big sigh of relief and a huge morale booster. This guy has helped keep me sane too. He's a good boy. But the pain is far from over. For the next 3 days, I still had to live with that piece of bone floating in my leg.
This has been my position of rest for the past 4 days. And recliner was definitely a better move than the bed just because I could get up myself. Let it hit. Put the chair up the rest of the way. I always keep my crutches within hand reach. Kind of take it slow.
The leg's gonna be jacked.
Grab my crutches, and we're gonna work our way outside. Whew, my calf's getting sore.
Make my way over to the bathing station. Gotta take a couple breaks along the way, but we'll get there. This is probably one of the more harder things for me to do. This is pretty low.
You have a nice glow going to you though. You look good.
Thanks, feel great. Feel good, look good. Life's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of back up into position. I gotta keep this leg kind of far out because I can't lift it. So it's gotta kind of be where it needs to rest. Then I drop a crutch, grab that. Reach back for that. Oh, kind of put the back of my leg there to give it a break. Yeah, not exaggerating. It's kind of painful. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this thing open and show you guys since you haven't really seen too much skin yet. Boom. It always feels good to get that pressure off, but it doesn't last long. I get little spurts of relief, but they never last long. This last one is hard for me to get by myself. Ooh, holy crap. That was a very weird feeling.
Wow. Swelling has gone down a lot.
Yeah, dude, but look at my calf.
Yeah, your calf's swollen. You're bruising.
All that down there makes me worry. But it is what it is. I gotta go in for surgery tomorrow. Gotta be there at 6
a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. We gotta be at
Early.
the hospital. And they're actually doing the surgery at 8. So it's going down. Might get out that same day. I mean, I might have to stay an overnight. I don't really care either way, but there is a possibility that I'll get out and not have to do an overnight, which I'd be stoked. Because there's no point in me staying there if I'm feeling all right. It all depends on how I feel. One of the radiologist, he told me that I would feel a lot better once they got this thing stabilized and got those floating bones fixed. Of course, I'll have some pain just from the surgery and tearing everything and putting screws and crap in there, but I bet you in a few more days I'll be doing a lot better than I am right now. Let's get cleaned up. Smell like a sweaty hooker. Oh man. Woo. Honestly feels so good. Crazy how much you sweat when you do nothing, man. Just for me, getting up out of the chair 3 times a day to just go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, come outside for a bit, it is physically exhausting. This ain't my first rodeo, man. I had complete reconstructive Achilles tendon surgery, but just not having the knee, like not being able to move the knee, is just so much dead weight that you carry around. So this is definitely the most humbling pain and experience that I've ever been through, just being like completely useless. This whole time period felt like a month in itself, just the waiting game. Another absolutely insane thing that was happening is the fact that my mom had already been scheduled to have a surgery on this Friday for months. So that meant that my mom and I were literally going to have surgery on the exact same day and almost on the exact same time for all we knew. So before the surgery, I had to go and get tested. From the boss queen.
There's fans for him.
It's hot in here. What do they do, delay my surgery?
I don't know, like 2
You want to see somebody go on a rampage?
There's like a strip swab if you ever had that.
Okay.
Stick your tongue out, say Good job.
Awesome.
Fabulous job.
Thanks.
You're fine, you're fine. You're like, ah.
That does not feel pleasant. At this point, I was ready as I could ever be. I just wanted to get this thing fixed, add some stability to my leg, and move on with the recovery process. Getting it done.
Yeah, not blood bank or anything. Thank you. Anything different? Have you been exposed to anybody that you know has been positive? Anything along those lines?
No.
Okay. What kind of surgery is your mom having? All right, so now go ahead and pull your mask down for just a second here. Let's get your temperature. Set it right underneath your tongue. There you go. 98.9. You can put your mask back up. And nothing removable like any dentures, hearing aids, jewelry, undergarments, everything's off that can come off your body. Okay. Perfect.
So I was trying to open that little thing.
What?
Yes, I don't know how that happened. I am so
I don't
sorry.
really think that even
No, it's all right.
I lost your blood. So I was struggling to open the tubing, and I said, "Oh, let me put it down." And go whoop, and I thought it was perfect.
I thought they literally meant that your blood went through the shredder. And I was like, oh my god, that made a hell of a mess.
They put me on the same floor as my mom, and I literally saw her in the hallway, and we almost got surgery at the same time. But the morning went fast, they put some drugs in my system, and I made the journey back to the operating room.